The only thing I'm afraid of for you, and Ian, I pray for you every day, is that now it's almost like the Muslims, and I hate to say this, and I'm not a prejudiced person or anything else, but I'll tell you something. They come into our countries, they don't simulate with what we stand for. They think it's okay to rape and groom and hurt little girls and little boys as well, because they don't wear hijabs or whatever. Like if I'm dressed like this, they say that it would be my problem if I got raped. Well, no, that's not the way that it works. And before Muslims came to the USA, or before they came to Europe, people could dress the way that they wanted.
Yeah. Well, they're even in Britain now. We've got the World Cup going on.
Yes.
We've got our rugby team out in South Africa, right? And the English flag is the Cross of St. George, which is the white flag with the red cross on it.
Which bothers me.
Which would also be the cross that King Richard would have used when he went to the Holy Land.
Right, but that
Templars.
I found out through exactly the Knight Templars, exactly.
Right.
I found out through Q that is a bad thing.
Right.
That flag is a bad thing.
Yeah,
because we have the red
is, no matter what's happened before, the English flag is a white flag with a red cross on it. Mm-hmm. It's the Cross of St. George, and it's the national flag. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Right?
Except they came to the USA. They came to the USA and they made it a red flag with the white, and they made it for the Red Cross, which is also a scam here.
Yeah, well, they tried a few years ago to get us to not use the St. George's Cross. We had the Rugby World Cup.
Right.
England won the Rugby World Cup.
Right.
And we regained the St. George's flag.
Oh, okay. So that's how you got it back.
Well, publicly got it back. It's
right.
Our nation's flag anyway.
Right.
But they tried to tell us that it was divisive and it was harassment, and it was upsetting people and.
Because it had a cross on it.
Well, yeah, because it's a Christian symbol rather than a Muslim symbol, right? So now what's happening is they're now trying it on again before the World Cup, and there was a house with a great big flag on it, just a flag hanging out of a window. Must have been about 4 foot square.
Yeah.
The police went and said that could offend somebody and they wanted it taken down. So the house owner went and bought a load of flags, 10 foot, 12 foot, and covered his whole house with it.
That's what some people have done here. They painted their house the American flag. I've seen houses where they literally have painted it where it looks like an American flag because their neighbors were pissed off because they had the American flag because they were Muslims, and the neighbors were pissed off, so he just went and had his whole house painted like the American flag.
Well, in the States, if you support the local team, if it's baseball or American football, every house has almost got the team's flag, haven't they?
Oh yeah, whoever you support, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, the same's true here. We support the England football team, so we fly the St. George's Cross. It's our national flag.
So what are we supposed? What are you guys supposed to fly? ISIS? You're supposed to fly black with skulls and shit on it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but the problem there is if I see an ISIS flag and I'm offended, and I go to the police and say he's flying that flag because my mate was in the army and my mate was killed in Afghanistan or Iraq or on the Syrian border fighting with the rebels out there, fighting for justice and freedom and all the rest of it. I'm offended at that flag. The
Exactly.
police won't do anything.
Really? But they'll do something if it's your own flag.
Yeah. Even though the ISIS flag, ISIS is a known terrorist organisation and banned in Britain.
Yep.
They march. The people march in the street, and they've got the ISIS flags, and the police do nothing.
Nothing. Nothing. They do it here too, and they used to. Well, mainly they did it when Obama was in office, and they would chant "Death to America, Death to Americans." And I think if anybody's gonna chant down the street "Death to America" and "Death to Americans," they all should have been arrested right there on the spot. All of them. I mean, all of them. They've got like 6, 7 kids apiece living off of our government for free. Their housing is free. Everything is free. And I just don't understand. I mean, they're trying to outnumber us, by having so many kids. And then it's like America supposedly has 2.5 children. Now, I don't know how you can have 2.5 children, but statistics say that American people have 2.5 children. Okay, does it just have a half a child somewhere? I don't know. I would say the average American family has about 3 children, the average. Because that's what I had, and that's what a lot of my friends, almost everyone I know, has about 2 to 3.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where they got the half.
I read a study, and it said that for a population to stay static, the population needed to have 2.4 children. Because some children would die in the youth, some people would die in wars, and then you got your elderly dying. So to maintain a static population, you needed 2.4 children. The problem is that what we've got now is the native population, majority white, aren't having 2.4, it's 1.8.
Yeah, because we're not having as many children, because a lot of people that are growing up and they're like in their 20s, they don't want to have children with the way that the world is.
Yeah.
They're scared of what's going to happen. Like my son, he's 26. He'll be 27 in December. He don't have no kids yet.
But it's economically viable and desirable for people that have come into this country who are on benefit, and if they're getting more benefit per child they have, to have a growing family.
Exactly. Did I tell you that California might turn red?
No.
Yeah, we had our preliminaries Monday, I believe it was, and it's almost all red.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, that's what we've got to remember is in America, red is Republican and blue Democrat.
And then I was looking up too, and I want to know if you know about our history on this too. When George Washington and our forefathers, set this all up for us to be a free country, to not be communism and stuff.
Yep.
They even said that we are a republic country, that we are not supposed to be a Democrat country because that's socialism.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been doing research on it.
Yeah.
And then George Washington said that if we can keep our country Republican, if we can keep our country Republican, we'll always be free. If we let it become a Democratic country, then it will be socialism.
No. The problem with being a democratic country is democracy allegedly works by a number of people voting, and if you get 51%, that's democracy. That's what you vote for.
Right.
But the problem is you've got the Bill of Rights and we've got the Bill of Rights,
Right.
What you've got to have is democracy within within the guidelines that the country's got, which is your Bill of Rights, our Bill of Rights and Magna Carta and Constitution, which they tell us we don't have, and the
Which
British common law.
Which that's one of the things that scares me so much is because, like I told you, everything that happens to you happens 7 years before it comes to us. Always. It always has. So you guys have been having problems with this. You guys are on, you guys got about 2 more years, right? And it's already hit us, which means we've got about 4 more years. And if we don't stop what's going on, we're not going to have a country.
Well, you look at what's happening in Sweden.
Oh,
Sweden towns have become no-go areas
yeah.
because of the
Oh,
immigrants.
exactly. Did you know that Merkel, I was going to video of all of them coming to the summit, and taking pictures with the president of Canada,
Yeah,
the prime minister of Canada.
yeah.
I got a picture to show you, and I want you to post it up on this whenever, you do
Yeah.
it. She's standing there, and she's made sure that she has her triangle as her symbol for the Illuminati.
Oh,
Merkel. Merkel.
interesting.
I've got the picture of it. She's the only one. And then I've got all of these different
I'll put it on
videos.
I'll put it on the video.
Exactly. That's what I was saying.
Mm.
And then I've got all of these videos of the Prime Minister of Canada. He's so nervous sitting down with President Trump that he sits down, crosses his legs, uncrosses his legs, stumbles on when he's trying to talk. Then he gets up and he's trying to address his own people, and he's fumbling all over his words. I mean, just blah, 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 blah. I mean, just sounds like a retard. And so what that causes, let me tell you what happens with that. Okay, people are starting to realize, and it's starting to get out of what I've been telling you about them eating the pineal gland of children.
Yeah.
That is why they traffic them. They eat the pineal gland of children, but it causes, like in their brain, it causes holes in their brain, okay? And their brain looks like a sponge, just full of holes.
Yeah.
First thing that happens is they start getting to where they can't communicate. They can't think. They start getting the laughing, ha 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 ha, like Hillary Clinton does, just like that, just a laughing thing. And then eventually they die because they're eating the brains, is what they're doing. They're eating the pineal gland, right? So I've been watching all of these different politicians. Nancy Pelosi, she was on the other day, and I've got a video of her. She couldn't think of math. She couldn't even think of what she was talking about. I mean, she looked like the most retarded person. I probably could have spoke better than her, and I don't really even know much about but I know I could talk better than she could have. But it's really, really, really starting to show the guru that they have.
Okay. On the G7 and Trump, now the BBC said that they'd come to an agreement and a settlement, and then Trudeau came out and said that they were all going to sign this agreement, agreed statement.
Yes.
And then Trump gets on the plane and tweets and tells his guys, because Trudeau has been a liar and dishonest, not to sign it. Now, do you know what happened there?
Yes. When he got there, okay, before they got there, they were having a tweeting war, Trudeau and Trump. When Trump got there, and he's 6'3", and he's kind of like a mafia guy. He's kind of like the boss. You know what I mean? He's the boss, and everybody's the applesauce. You should have saw people just shaking like this. I mean, they were just shaking. When they were going to sign that agreement, okay, right now what they do is they tax us 270% for their farming stuff, for their milk
into the States.
In the States. They tax us on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and it hasn't been fair for many, many years, right? Okay, so what happened was Trudeau wanted a NAFTA thing drawn up that would last for 20 years or something, right? And Trump was just like, no, I did away with NAFTA for a reason. Because it was illegal, and, we're not going to do a 20-year thing because life changes. Ever so many years, life changes.
Now, we were told that Merkel had told Trump that there are laws in place and rules in place within governments of the world that Trump had to follow the rules.
She tried to tell him that, and he said no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He said, I'm here for the United States of America, and our rules are different than yours, and either we're going to do this the right way or we're going to do this the hard way. And I think he finally, in private to them, told them that we're taking all of you down for child sex trafficking.
Well, people said for years that they wanted to get Canada, America, Mexico, and other Southern American states to join a single trading group. Right?
Well, I'll tell you why.
Which happened under Clinton and Obama.
Right, but I'll tell you why.
Hang on a minute. You've got the EU.
Mm-hmm.
You've then got the African states have joined together. The Asian states are driving together. They then wanted to put that all together so it's one world government.
Right.
And for years I thought, no way, no way, no way. But now you can see it unfolding that was the plan all along.
Yep. It sure was. But see, this is the one thing, like I told you, and I told you that, the Rothschilds sold off their 145-year hunting grounds where they were hunting children. They sold off their 145 years in their family, their cabin, because I told you President Trump is going after their assets and everything else because they did all the illegal bullshit here in the United States. They came here to do it.
Rockefeller sold all that art.
Okay, here we go. This is yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're selling the shit out of stuff. Okay. This is exactly what was said. 13 hours to go. Okay, let's see. I'm going to Trump's tweets, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to go through. Okay.
I don't get Trump's tweets.
Okay. It says,
really.
Huh?
It's the real Donald Trump, isn't it? I've seen them.
Yeah. Yeah, he follows me. He's been following me before he became president.
Yeah.
He followed me. It was pretty cool. The day that he followed me, I was like, oh damn, Donald Trump's following me.
So when you post this, he could be watching our video then.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hello, Mr. Trump, sir.
Yes, he definitely knows who I am from that shutting down the Craigslist. He knows who I am. Okay, so let me tell you what it says. Okay, it says G7 press briefing in Canada from deporting, to Singapore. Then it says, just met with the new Prime Minister of Italy, a really great guy. He will be honored in Washington at the White House shortly. He will do a great job. The people of Italy got it right. Now remember, they just now got a good guy in there.
Yeah. Well,
he's throwing out all the Muslims. No, he's throwing out all the Muslims in Italy.
In Italy, the president rejected the cabinet, the finance minister, because he was anti-EU.
Yep.
Right? They then had a row, and then they got the government back in again. The guy that was going to be the finance minister, who was anti-EU, is now the Italian minister for the EU.
Exactly. I think it's amazing because he said he's throwing out all the immigrants. He said he is. He said he's closing the borders. He's throwing them out. He said he's deporting them, and he's pretty much like Republic like us. He's trying to bring Italy back to normal. Yeah. Okay, well this is what it said.
What they're telling us is that this is far right, and they're now afraid of popular politics. Well, surely, now let's get this right. If you've got a government and you vote, you want to be popular because you want everybody to vote for you.
No
So,
doubt.
so surely if you have got the vote and you're in government, you were a popular party.
That's pretty
Therefore,
much
that's
it.
populism. So now that we don't like the way the government are going, and we are going slightly more right wing, right? They don't like it. They say that's wrong. So they want to know how to fight populism.
Well, let me tell you his tweets about Trudeau, okay? He says, just left the G7 summit in beautiful Canada. Great meetings and relationships with 6 country leaders, especially since they know I cannot allow them to apply large tariffs and strong barriers to, and then he goes up and he says, the United States will not allow other countries to impose massive tariffs and trade barriers on its farmers, workers, and companies while sending their product into our company tax-free. We have put up with trade abuse for many decades, and that is long enough. Then he says, I am on my way to Singapore, where we have a chance to archive a truly wonderful result for North Korea and the world. It will certainly be an exciting day, and I know that Kim Jong-un will work very hard to do something that has rarely been done before. Then he writes on, based on Justin's false statements at his news conference and the fact that Canada is charging massive tariffs to our U.S. farmers, workers, and companies, I have instructed our U.S. reps not to endorse the commute. We look at tariffs on automobiles flooding the U.S. markets. Okay. Then he says, PM Justin Trudeau of Canada acted so meek and mild during our G7 meeting, only to give a news conference after I left saying that U.S. tariffs were kind of insulting and he will not be pushed around. Very dishonest and weak. Our tariffs are in response to his of 270% on dairy. And that's what he wrote 13 hours ago. Yeah. That is why. It's because Trudeau got on and he couldn't even talk. Matter of fact, I'm going to play it for you. I'm going to play just a little piece of it. You're going to laugh because he couldn't even talk. I mean, he sounded like a retard. Hang on. It makes me laugh. I just have to laugh sometimes at these people because I mean they got Kuru and they can't even think. And no wonder they were so scared.
What I'll do, Betty, is I'll take the video and I'll put the video in here and edit it in.
That sounds great. Yeah, because I'll send you the video. I mean, it's
okay. Okay, we've done that as said and carry on now. I'll cut there.
Okay, so you just want me to put it on there showing how he looks so dumb?
Yeah, let me have the video and then I'll edit it in.
I also want to send you the video of Nancy Pelosi where she couldn't even freaking talk either.
I'll add that on as well.
They're like, I mean, that's how they talked. So pretty much, this is what Trump's doing.
But you expect a politician to be on top of their game because they are politicians.
I pray for Canada. I'm not kidding you because after Pompeo, he's the one that wrote and said, pray for Canada, and then put the video of Trudeau up because he can't even speak. And he was so scared. He was so scared. I'm gonna send you the video too. It's just a 2-second, like both of them are like a 1-minute clip, all of them. So it's not that long. But I'm gonna send that one to you too. But he crosses his legs, then he uncrosses his legs, and he's like, and we're proud to have a President Trump from the United States. I mean, he couldn't even talk. Like he was so scared. But then he became so strong when President Trump left, like, you know, and lied. He actually lied to his
Yeah.
people. He actually lied. And so that's when Trump said, dishonesty? Mm-mm.
Mm.
So now,
How
from
how
what,
okay? How do you think Trump is going to do in Singapore? Do you think there's going to
wonderful.
be an agreement with Cor-
Oh,
um,
yes.
Korea and the
Oh,
war
yeah.
stopped?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I hope so too.
Yes.
I hope he can pull it off.
I think that is going to go wonderful. That has already been in the works since November, like I told you, before anybody even knew about it, when he met him in Asia or China, when he met in the, the
Yeah.
Forbidden City, where nobody ever meets in the Forbidden City. And yeah, I believe that that is definitely going, and South Korea will also be there because they're now going to sign a peace treaty in front of Trump, is how it's going to work. So then they're not going to be fighting no more after 65 years. But you know what's been making them fight? The Illuminati.
Yeah. Well, they got to create a bogeyman,
Hmm.
whoever it is. They're now trying to get Putin to be the bogeyman.
Oh, well, that's another thing. No, that's another thing. Trump asked for it to be G8, for Russia to be put back in, because it's only fair for everybody, because
Yeah.
they're all our allies, right? And so if anything happens, because he's already sending, he's already sent his boats somewhere. I forget where it is, but something about America and us, all of our boats are going together. Well, so President Trump said reconsider because they're our allies too. Russia is our allies. Forget about this witch hunt bull crap that they paid, so much money for, to lie, number one. Oh, yeah, Mueller's in trouble, by the way. Congress just asked for all the documentation of the 17 million he spent of our tax dollars on this witch hunt.
Oh. But
Yeah, because see, you can only spend so much on, on something and then come out
who
with
have they
nothing.
asked? Who have they asked for the documents from?
Congress asked Mueller and his
Right.
team because we were paying $4,500 a month just for hotels.
Yeah.
And then they've already came out and said that Trump had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And then they keep going after other people in Trump's campaign and then trying to, put it onto Trump. Okay, that's like, okay, say that me and you are friends and I go out and commit a crime or you go out and commit a crime. Is that supposed to be held against me because you did it or you because I did it? No, no. But that's how they want it. Well, you can only spend so much, right, on a crime, right? And then if it keeps coming out saying that there's no collusion, which they have said how many times? 50 or more? Then you are actually dishonestly using the people's tax dollars. So now Congress, uh, Thursday or Friday, they went on the Congress floor and they asked on record to have all of his stuff subpoenaed on everything he spent. And if he spent more than $17 million, he
Wow.
goes to prison because he's only allowed to spend so much.
Mm.
And he spent 17 million so far of our tax dollars on a lie, where they already spent 12 million to make up the lie. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So,
you had the Steele report,
uh-huh.
which was from the ex MI6 officer
Yep.
who was a Moscow agent for the British,
Yep.
allegedly spoke to the Russian Secret Service, but we've got no proof of that. Did the
No.
dossier, and supposed to be the dossier to get Trump
The
through
dossier
which Clinton's
they said
paid for.
they said the Clintons paid $12 million, okay? And then the dossier, supposedly, they did it on Carter Page. Carter Page is part of their bunch, number one, okay? So they wasn't doing it on him. But when they did
Wait,
it, they said that he knew
one minute,
Trump.
one minute, one minute. I got to say something here. if you go onto the internet, you can find Carter Page's transcript of him at the committee when he went to the, was it a Congress committee, Senate committee?
Yeah, I'm not sure which one he went
An
to.
oversight committee interviewed him, and it's all in there.
Yeah, and it was all a lie. Well, what
Yeah.
they did was, since Carter Page talked to Trump, that's how they got the fake dossier.
Yeah.
They put the surveillance on Carter Page, but Carter Page was part of them. Okay, and then they went back and said that Trump was with Russia because Carter Page said he was.
Yeah.
So then but this was before Trump even got in office or anything. And then you even showed the paperwork where your people signed off on it and said that they were going to continue watching him during his.
GCHQ was spying on Trump Tower on the 2 floors.
Mhm.
They wrote to Boris Johnson asking if they could continue
Through his whole presidency. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, now Mueller is in so much trouble. $17 million. That's how much the Democrats care about us. $17 million on a lie.
Well,
And can't find
it's
one.
nothing to do with the money. It's just that they want to be in power, not Trump.
Well, no, it's also to take our money,
Yeah.
to keep us broke, because that's what the Democrats want.
Yeah.
So they thought, okay, well, if we've got Trump in office, we're still going to take all the people down because we're going to take their money and we're going to do this lie and we're going to take their money to do this lie. Well, now Congress got on Congress floor and they're like, we're subpoenaing all of his records on everything he has spent because there is no Russian collusion, and that means Mueller's going to get low.
Whoa.
But it serves him right, because let me explain something. Do you know how many innocent people he has put in prison in the United States of America, and they have gotten out and they have sued our government for millions and millions of dollars because they were innocent when he put them in there?
Wow. Didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been doing research on Mueller. Oh yeah.
How can you have government officials? It goes, I keep on about the Bundy Ranch, but the Bundy Ranch highlights how bad and how corrupt the government is from the top to the bottom.
Oh, so does Arizona. Like, who comes in and bulldozes down a sex camp for children and women, and don't even take DNA, laughs at you, tells you that you're full of crap, won't come out for 6 days.
Yeah.
And then tries to cover it up. And then the police officers write their statement the next day calling it a lie, that it was a homeless camp.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I'm going to send you what I have of somebody who really took video of it, that it didn't get out to the press and stuff. I'm going to send that to you, and I want you to tell me what you think of it.
Okay, I will.
Because you can see the blood on the trees. You can even see where a little girl wrote her name, Maddie. You can see all kinds of things, and you'll be like, and condoms, and lotion, and used condoms, and all of these things. You're not going to tell me that's a homeless camp. Yeah. Even the professional child sex trafficker, Craig Sawyer, which is an ex-Navy SEAL, he went there, and he said,
they've tried to discredit him already.
Yeah, well, there's no discrediting him, because that's what he does that's what he does. And he even said, and he has said it a million times, but okay, so what happened was CMEX. I did information on CMEX. Soros owns $41 million in stocks of CMEX. The Clinton Foundation became part of CMEX in 2013. Okay? But what's really strange, they have 50,000 employees, $800 million in net revenue, and $80 billion get this, $80 billion in net revenue, okay? Most plants are shut down. So
Yeah.
how do you make that much money?
Don't know. Don't know the answer to that.
Child sex trafficking on their land.
Allegedly.
I ain't saying allegedly. I know it's true.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna send you also the hottest drug in Hollywood and everywhere else. And
All
it's
right.
called adrenochrome, and it comes in a bottle now, and it's children's blood off their brain.
No.
Yes. And guess who used it in the movie Fear Loathing? Johnny Depp. That little brown bottle that he was using.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Weird.
adrenochrome.
Weird.
And it is the hottest drug. Nobody wants cocaine. Nobody wants meth. Nobody wants none of that. They want the adrenochrome off of children. And the walnut sauce, which is the pineal gland.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, totally, 100% agree. Sick.
Sick. Very sick. And so isn't it strange that the Rothschild is the governor of Arizona? McCain, which we have already found out that he has Kuru. That's why they're saying he has brain cancer. No, he has Kuru. His brain's ate up with holes from eating children's brains, you know. And you know, I would have never found this out if Q hadn't did all the Q drops and the Q memes, because he would drop Q memes and it would say, Nancy Pelosi, why does she have Kuru? And then it would say such and such, why does he have Kuru? Things like that, you know. And then it would show their symbolism is what is their downfall.
Yeah.
Now, something else you didn't know, but Trump Towers, okay, in New York, if you look from the sky, all of those buildings that are connected together make a pentagram. Trump Towers was bought by John Barron in the 1980s, which was Trump, because it had satanic symbols all over it. He had it bulldozed down, built a brand new, beautiful building, which took half of the pentagram, right? Because his corner took the whole half of the pentagram. See, he took down the cabal in 1980, okay? And then he made it beautiful and gold and everything like God would want, right? Right? And then on the outside, he put real big in gold letters, Trump. They shit because they thought a guy named John Barron bought it.
Yeah.
But it was Trump that bought it. And that is why in big gold letters it said Trump Towers. They were like,
Yeah, he also bought the old post office as well, didn't he, Trump?
yeah, and then right down from the White House, he bought that building before he became president. And either way, he was going to have a building on Pennsylvania Avenue. I mean, Trump, he's just the smartest man. I mean, I wrote him on his birthday card, and I told him I always wanted his brain for 1 week because he's so smart. And I just wrote a bunch of stuff to him, thanking him for everything that he had done for us and stuff. And because his birthday's coming up, I think it's June the 15th or something like that. And so at his birthday, because birthdays are really big for his family, at his birthday, I guess they're going to read each and every one of our cards that we sent him.
Betty, we've been at this for just over an hour. And
We always are.
We've got so much to talk about. What we're going to have to do is have a break, and we'll do this again next week.
We have so much fun when we talk, though. It is so great. I mean, I watched your other videos, and you don't have near as much fun as you do with me.
Well, some people are very serious, and they 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 yeah. The problem is, what I think it is, it's such a serious subject. You know, you're talking about child abuse, and that's the worst
Yeah.
thing in the world, next to
Yes.
murder.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I think it is so bad that you have to find. It's like watching MASH in the. You look at MASH, and
Hmm.
they never joke about the surgery.
Then they joke
They're always
afterwards.
joking about Klinger,
Right.
or they're joking about um, Barnes or whatever his name is, the major. But
Right.
you had the posh one, Charles, didn't you?
Yeah.
Second. And they'd banter between them, and they'd always find a joke, but they'd never joke about the surgery. And I
Right.
think it's same about the subjects that we're talking about.
Yeah, because we don't joke about the subjects we're talking about. We joke about like Trudeau and Nancy Pelosi and all the
Yeah.
crazies. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but something's going to happen with Canada. Something's going to happen. I'm not sure what, because he was meek and scared, and I'll send you those. Like you'll be able to see for yourself. But definitely put them on here, and
Okay.
yeah, and we'll chat again next week. But I look at it like this: keep a smile or keep a fire in your heart, a smile on your face. Be kind to someone today, because we're not promised tomorrow. And if we do go out with a bang by being good to someone or giving someone a smile or
Yeah,
something like
totally.
that.
Totally agree.
You know.
Betty,
So once in a while, I have to laugh because I've got so much monotonous, and I have to deal with looking at all of this traumosity and all of this satanic stuff that sometimes I have to have something to laugh about because I don't laugh much, honestly. It's not a laughing matter, really.
no, it isn't.
So I have to think of something else, like laughing at the people who have Kuru because they're going to prison. And I just have to laugh about that because they need to go to prison. It's time.
Betty, have a lovely day.
You too, sweetheart.
I'm going to go out and cut my grass now.
All right.
Well, the
Mwah.
sun's shining here in England, and it's supposed to rain later, so I'm going to go out and cut my grass and play in the garden.
All right. Well, this is Let's
Thank
Chat
you
with
very much indeed.
Betty Washam with Ian Somerville, and we will talk to you guys next week. Mwah. I'm out.
Brilliant. I'm gone. I'm going.